All right, so you're welcome to this particular video. So in this video now, we are going to be talking about choosing the right category for your own book. Okay, so now when you want to upload your book on Amazon, actually Amazon is going to give you a chance to choose category that is best relevant with your own book, so that you can be able to perform better in that particular category, so that your book will be listed on that particular category. Okay, so now there is what is called a bestseller. Okay, there is what is called a bestseller. Let me just go to my browser and let me just go to the Amazon platform itself. Okay, let me just go to the incognito tab and let me go to the Amazon non-fiction bestseller. Okay, let me just go to the Amazon non-fiction bestseller. Okay, just want to show you something. So let me just right click on this particular book. Okay, let me just right click on this particular book. Now this particular batch that you are seeing here is what is called the bestseller. Okay, it is called the bestseller because it has the highest number of sales in the category it was placed. Okay, so now in the category that this particular book was listed, now it has recorded a higher number of sales. That is why it can be able to see this particular bestseller. So now customers that are buying this particular book now can actually buy a lot of this book because of this particular passive value in that particular book. And the passive value I'm talking about here is the bestseller badge. Now this is telling the Amazon customer that this particular book is actually one of the best book they may need out there, because it has what is called a bestseller badge. That is, people are actually patronizing this particular book on its own category. Okay, so now let's come down. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now this book is having the bestseller rank of 20 currently on Amazon. So don't imagine the number of books that this particular one is selling. So now this is the category I'm talking about. Now in small business, okay, it is ranking number one because it has the highest number of sales. In small business advertising, it is ranking number one because it has higher number of sales in that particular category. And in marketing for small businesses, it has the highest number of sales because it is it is the number one because it has the highest number of sales. So now let's open these particular categories and see them. Let's open these particular categories and see. Okay, so now let's check each of this category. Now that you are going to see this book as the number one best-selling book. Now, if you go to the next category, which is for small business advertising, it is the number one best-selling book. If you check another category, marketing for small businesses, it is the number one best-selling book on that particular category. Why? Because it has sells a whole lot of copies, more than any other book out there in that particular category. That is why it was able to get this particular bestseller. So now that is why category is very important. So if you want to place a category for your own book, make sure that you are going for a relevant category for that particular book, and then also make sure that the category you are going for has a very low competition. It's a very low competitive category. So now how do you know a very low competitive category? So if you are using a tool like Publisher Rockets, okay, if you are using tool like Publisher Rockets, you can be able to actually find out a relevant category that is actually very low competitive that you can use for your own book. Okay, so if you don't have a Publisher Rocket, actually the only alternative you have is to come back to your Chat GPT and actually get that particular category from Chat GPT. Okay, so since you are just a complete beginner who is just starting Amazon KDP, and you are also on a low budget, now the best tool for you to use is the Chat GPT. So now let's come to the what. Now let me show you something before then. I said the category must be less competitive but relevant. Okay, and this can be able to allow you to reach that bestseller rank in short time if you can be able to attain highest number of sales in that particular category. Okay, so now let's come here and let's go to our charts that we have for this particular book. Let's go to the chart. So now here we are. So now I can actually ask ChatGPT to brainstorm brainstorm a competitive less competitive, okay, less competitive but relevant relevant category, okay, for my book or for the book above. So for the book above, okay, so 3 each for both Kindle and books. That is both Kindle and paperback. Okay. So now let's wait for it to suggest that for me. Since, for example, now I'm just a complete beginner who is just starting out with no money to buy the publisher rockets. Okay. So now let's wait for it to actually make suggestion for the category. Okay. So let's wait for it. Now that is the Kindle category. Now the first one, I said 3 for each, only 3 category. I want only 3 category for this. Okay. So stress management under self-help. Okay. So now this is the Kindle category now. This is the Kindle category. And this one is for the book categories. That is the paperback. So that is for the paperback and actually for the hardcover too. Okay. For the hardcover too, I can use these particular categories. So now let's come down. So we have this particular 7 backend keyword for our book. So now let's come and write for the categories. Okay. So now let me keep my categories safe somewhere. So now we have the Kindle category. Let me just copy it. Okay. Let me just copy it. Where's my notepads? Okay. Now let me paste. So we have Kindle category now. I'm just going to copy the category on the Kindle books. Okay. Now let me copy. Let me paste. Okay. Let me get the second one too on the Kindle store. Okay. Let me paste the third one. Okay. This one is what a relevant category also for my own book. Let me copy it and less competitive from what ChatGPT was saying. So now on books, okay. Now let me just go to book categories. Let me just go to book categories and let me also keep them safe. Okay, so book categories. So now let me copy it. Okay, let me just copy. Okay. Wow. So that's where I'm going. Copy this. Okay. Now copy, paste. Okay. So now the next one, education, teaching, and higher stuff. Okay. Okay. A less traditional category for considering the chapter on college wellness. This can reach college students looking for strategies to maintain physical and mental wellness. Wow. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. So now let me paste. Okay. So now we have parenting and relationship. Okay. Fitness for parents. Okay. So a niche category focusing on health and fitness for parents, aligning with the chapter dedicated to busy parents. Wow. That's very interesting. That is why I love this particular tool. I actually love ChatGPT. It has actually made a lot of work very much easier for me. Okay. So now I have my own category set and ready both for Kindle and for books. Okay. So that is how you go about getting a very low competitive category that you are going to list your book on. Okay. So that is that for this video. So thank you and then see you in the next video.